Hey, good morning. Dan here again. I promised you that in my last video, we were going to talk a little bit more about this, and that was not having any equipment, excuses to do or not to do workouts. And so it's real easy to make excuses about anything, right? We can make excuses about everything in the world that we can or can't do, whether it be coming over to somebody's place or finding a new job or exercising, which is what we want to talk about today. So, as I mentioned in my last video, there's three things that you can do, three exercises that really will keep you strong. And you'll notice it. You may not look like Atlas, and that's okay, but you will be strong. Okay. So what the three exercises I mentioned were push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. Now, if you remember a guy named Jack LaLanne, for us old people, you're going to remember him, and even some of the young people might too, because he used to have a commercial on TV for a long time with the LaLanne, I think it was called the Jack LaLanne juicer, and it was a big thing, and he juiced a lot during his life. He died at 96 years old, and all the way up to that time, in fact, I think the day before he was doing his full workout, but he got pneumonia, and anything could take you, right? Anything. But trying to stay healthy and strong and fit and be able to do all the things that you want to do. You know, so many people retire and then they can't do the things that they could do when they were younger to be able to get out and enjoy themselves. I want to travel, I want to do this and that. But if you can travel, but you can't walk upstairs, or if you can travel and you can't take a hike in the woods, these are not fun things, right? If you can go out and you can't go dancing like you want, now you've got time to do it and you can't do it. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to stay strong, okay? One of the things I also talked about was standing on one foot and going ahead and putting your socks on, taking your socks off, putting them on one foot. Balance. We have a problem as we get older, we lose balance. That's why you hear so many people falling and hurting their hip, breaking their hips or elbows or whatever. And so it's real important to try to be able to still do that. So I thought I'd do a little video on actually showing people that I'm not kidding. These are things that I do, and I do it at home, and it makes difference. Now, as I said in my other video, I do go to the gym as well. But today I'm going to be at home. I've got some things I need to get done. It's tax season, so got to get some stuff done with that. But I did also, at work, hurt my shoulder. Pulling out a bunch of luggage and just did it wrong, right? And so now you got to hurt your shoulders. There's one little exercise I'm not going to be able to do real well, and that's going to be curls, which is surprising to me because I thought that would be one that I would be able to do, and the other things that I wouldn't. So we'll go over it here. But anyway, so push-ups, right? Push-ups everybody's been doing push-ups when they were kids, but we get away from doing them. And so I just wanted to kind of go over, how do you start? All right. So let's just go right to that. With push-ups, if you haven't done them in a while, get on your knees and do them. Trust me, this is not it's not hard, it's not easy either, right? So you just get in and you do your push-ups and try to go down as far as you can and get that push-up full range in, okay? Once you've been able to do those for a while, now you can go to a regular push-up, right? So you got your regular push-up, keep your body straight, and you're not worried about how many you can do at first. All you want to do is have good form, go down as far as you can. Doesn't have to be this far down, it can even be this far. But if you can go all the way down, go all the way down. Then there's another push-up that'll work a little different muscle. It's called a diamond shape. It's a little harder. Take a little while maybe to get to that, but you can do that. And that diamond push-up is working a different part of your chest. So you're doing that. And then if you're really getting tired and you want to try something a little bit more to kind of help you, you do a wide push-up. That works a different part of your muscles as well. So just a little bit different. You don't have to do all these, but it does make a difference. So you do a wide push-up, keep your legs wide, arms wide, and you can go down and do these push-ups, okay? So it's just one basic one. Working your chest, it works your arms a little bit, even works your back a little bit. So that is your push-ups, okay? The next thing that I talked about was squats. Now, it's funny because Jack LaLanne always used to have a chair on his TV show. This is back, I think, in the 50s or 60s, I don't know. It was a long time ago, but he had a chair and he did a lot of things from it. So he'd use the chair for support and he'd say, you know, doing your legs out and stuff like that, but just doing squats, okay? So just to kind of make sure you're going down at least far enough, you just sit on the chair, just touch it, okay? Sit on the chair, touch it, and you just doing your squats. When you feel comfortable that you don't have to worry about that and you know you're getting down lower, you don't need the chair anymore, then you just do your squats on your own. Now, like I said, I usually have a little something under my heels, allows you to go a little bit deeper. And I don't know, it just feels more comfortable for me. It's my pool stick box, and I just use that. And now it seems I can go down further even, get those knees working, right? So many people are having knees replaced, okay? And it's because they don't work their knees, okay? I know it seems like exactly the opposite, but the people I know that are doing squats on a regular basis, doing several things. Number one, you're building the muscles, not only in your legs, but around your knees. And so those muscles will help to stabilize that knee all the time, okay? I'm not a doctor, okay? I don't know exactly all of those things. I just observe other people and see what I see, okay? So you do your squats. You can also do split squats. These are really good. And you just kind of go down, and you don't even have to move back and forth. People do them, you know, you just kind of go down as far as you can. These are great for the knees. Of course, walking, we talked about that. That's something you can do as well, and you should do for your cardio. So you do about a 30-minute walk. I would say if you can, part of that walk, if you're having any knee problems at all, this has worked for me great because I play a lot of basketball, like I said. And for me, my knees will get sore a little bit if I play too much basketball. But walking backwards, 10 minutes, walking backwards, especially if you got a partner, you can you can hold hands if you want and walk backwards. But you can walk backwards, and I'm telling you, it makes such a difference. Even 10 minutes walking, and the next day my knees are feeling great again if I wanted to play again. You should play every other day, but that's the deal with that. The final thing is that I said, you know, that if you just don't have anything, just if you have one piece of equipment, this piece here, it's called, there's different brands, okay? I like this one. It was simple to put together. It's simple to use. Not only does it have where you can do push-ups, but you can put it on the ground, and now you can do dips with it, or pull-ups, I'm sorry, I said earlier. And then you can do push-ups like this off the ground with it as well, okay? So it works for a number of different things, and it's real easy to put up and put down. Now make sure you got a solid frame on your door. This one in my apartment happens to be metal, so it's pretty solid. And they do have a weight limit, so you want to check on that and make sure. These are really hard. I remember starting doing pull-ups. I could barely do one. It probably took a couple of weeks where I could, at least a week or so, before I could do 3 pull-ups. And eventually it was a big deal for me to do 7 or 8. Now, when I do work out, I can do, on my first set, when my shoulder's not hurting me, I can do up to 21. I've done 26 on my first set. So this is a pull-up, okay, doing it this way. And this will be a little difficult to do right in the beginning. Now, my shoulder is sore, so I'm not going to do a bunch of them. I'm going to do a few of them. But just getting that pull-up, pull yourself above the bar, pull yourself above the bar, pull yourself above the bar. Maybe you can't get above the bar at first. Use a chair. Have the chair there and just kind of use your support from your legs, okay? All you do is, or just something low even. It doesn't have to be a chair, but you got something here and you can use part of your body, right? And now you kind of use your legs to help, but you use and pull up. Now, again, it doesn't have to be a chair. It can be something lower that will just give you a little boost so you can keep your legs on there to help you a little bit. I like chin-ups. They do work pretty much the same muscles, but they also work your biceps more. So without having to be able to do curls and stuff like that, you can have this chin-up bar and now you can do chin-up. You can also work your abs as you get better at it by putting your legs straight out and keeping those out while you're doing the chin-up. So you're working your back, your biceps, you're working your abs all at the same time. Again, that's going to take time, but you got to start somewhere, right? So you start with and these are actually a little easier to do than pull-ups, and they're a little easier on your shoulder as well, okay? So you're doing your chin-ups. Again, like I said, if you want to get all of the benefit, put your legs out. Okay, so you can do all those at home. The other thing I mentioned in my video is these are Bowflex, and see my right shoulder, a little sore. Oh, with these you can do curls. This has an adjustment for weights, goes down as low as 5 pounds and all the way up to 55, I believe it is. Yeah, 55 pounds. So you can do those. There's a lot of exercise you can do with that. Now, those were like $300. So if you don't have the money for investing in that right now, don't worry about it. Between your push-ups, your squats, your pull-ups, you can do a lot of work, get a lot of strength, feel good, be able to do the things, the walking, the hiking, the dancing, the going up and down stairs, the picking up your laundry, groceries, just all the normal everyday things we do, right? Not having to have somebody do these things for you, not be walking with a walker, okay? Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you how all of these things really work. I just know I'm working hard to do it. So even the days that I don't go to the gym, boom, I'm right here. So, hey, if this will help you at all, I hope it does. Hope you'll come back for more videos. Subscribe if you could. It really helps kind of build the amount of people that see this. And thanks. Thanks for watching.